Okay, so I'm going to show a quick example of what you're going to do here. Let me first go through the instructions. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to fill in this block here by evaluating given an input. So you're going to take your quadratic equation here, replace x with whichever number that you're given, and you're going to get an answer for y. That's going to be like the super easy part, hopefully. Then you're going to go to Desmos, and you're going to do two different things on Desmos. The first thing that you're going to do is you're going to confirm your answer that you got here to part 1 by typing in two equations. One is you're going to type in the quadratic function, so you're going to type in whatever the function this is, and then you're also going to type in the x equals equation. So on Desmos, the first thing that you're going to do is you're going to type in this quadratic, you'll get a parabola, and then you'll type in this. And you should see that these cross at whatever your answer is, and we'll confirm that. I'm going to do example 2 with you. Then you're going to type in the y equals equation, so you'll see like here there's a y equals 16, and you're going to find the two x values. Or there might be 2, there might be less than 2. That makes sense. So let's look at example 2 just as an example for you to get started on your homework. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to evaluate this quadratic function, y equals 2x squared, when x equals negative 3. So I'm going to have y equals 2x squared. I'm going to take my x away. Remember that when we substitute, we need to use parentheses, and the negative 3 is the number that's going in there. That's super important that the parentheses are there, because if not, remember that exponent would only be touching the 3 and not the negative. So what this is asking me to do, remember I've got multiplication and exponents. I follow PEMDAS, so I'm going to exponent first. So negative 3 times negative 3 is going to be positive 9. And then I'm doing 2 times 9, which will get me 18. So my answer to part 1 is that the output y is 18 when my input was negative 3. Now I'm going to go over to Desmos, and I'm going to type in two equations into Desmos. One is I'm going to type in the quadratic equation, and then secondly I'm going to type in the x equals negative 3 equation. So here in Desmos, I typed in first the quadratic equation, y equals 2x squared. That created this purple parabola. And then I also typed in the x equals equation, x equals negative 3, which created this vertical line. Because remember, a vertical line is an x equals line because it doesn't move left or right. And then I had to scroll up a little bit on that to see where where the parabola and the line intersected. And I just tapped there. And when I tapped there, it showed me this ordered pair, negative 3, 18. And so what this ordered pair is telling me is that when x equals negative 3, y equals 18, which is exactly what happened here. When x equals negative 3, y equals 18. And so what I can do is I can circle that yes, my answer checked out. So now I'm going to turn off, I'm going to go back to Desmos, I'm going to turn this one off, and then I'm going to add on this row right here, this y equals 8, and we'll see what happens. So this time I still have my purple parabola, my quadratic equation, y equals 2x squared. I just turned off this equation right here, and then I added in this y equals 8 equation. And this created a horizontal line, which is this red line right here. And so the difference this time is the red line and the parabola actually intersect twice. And so I tapped those 2 points of intersection just to see what the ordered pairs were. So you can see on both of these ordered pairs, they both have a y coordinate of 8, but there's 2 different x coordinates. So that means that x could equal negative 2 or x could equal 2 in order to make y equal 8. And so you can write those in any order that you like on these 2 lines. So that's what you're going to be doing each time on this homework. You're going to be first evaluating the output given the input. So find y by replacing x. Then you'll start by typing in these 2 equations into Desmos, which will give you a parabola and that vertical line that we saw. And that point of intersection should be this x value and this y value. That's how you can check to make sure that it's accurate. Then you'll go back to the parabola or to Desmos, and you'll type in this third y equals equation. You can either completely get rid of this one or you can just add it below. I was just adding 3 because then I can go back and change them for each problem. This will give you a horizontal line, and it's possible that this horizontal line might cross twice, or you might see some other things happen. And I think there's one example where there might be either an extra line or not enough, so just be on the lookout for that.